Welcome to Keeping It G with G, the podcast. I'm your host, Gian, but you can call me G. Hence, Keeping It G with G, the podcast. To keep it G means to maintain a level of respect for oneself and those around you. And that is why this show is created, to have an open, honest, vulnerable, and accountable discussion about the ups and downs of everyday life shit as it pertains to self-improvement, love, relationships, and motherhood. So in hopes of me sharing through personal experiences from the lessons I've learned and still learning, I pray that I can shed light and share some gems that will give you that extra push that you may need as we are all growing and learning through life. I'm here to reassure my listeners that it's okay to keep it G while on your journey. Now let's start the show. And welcome to episode 74 of Keeping It G with G, the podcast. So for today's episode, I want to really just talk about divine timing and how adopting that thinking process has helped me to relax when it comes to life and how things run its course and how things take path. Divine timing is the belief that everything that happens in your life occurs at precisely the right moment. The universe is here to take care of you and will never put you in a place that you can't handle at that particular time. You can also look at divine timing as the way the universe manifests your dreams and goals in its own way. Now more than ever, this year has forced me into adopting the belief in divine timing and understanding that everything will happen how and when it's supposed to, no matter what plans I have for myself or how I want things to pan out. When you make the conscious decision to understand and be like, look, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I'm able to do and surrender the rest, because faith and divine timing will always have the last say. Understanding that we're on the right path and everything happens for a reason, both good and bad. This is not to say that you have to be positive Patty every day, because that's unrealistic, but to say, look, no matter what comes my way, I'm going to try to look for the lesson in all of this shit and let it fly, because in the end, God got me. And y'all know I love a good read and a good article, and I'm always looking for new ways to enrich my mind and spirit. So I want to take a minute to share this article with you guys that I found to be resourceful as it pertains to this episode. And of course, I will link the information for the article in the show notes. So if anyone wants to refer back to it, they are more than welcome to. So let me get into some of these universal rules to divine timing. Number 1, learn patience. Patience is perhaps the hardest and most important rule to embrace when it comes to divine timing. It can be difficult to accept that the universe will give you what you want when you need it, and patience can be elusive. But if you do feel impatient, really examine that emotion. And understand that everything is unfolding in the way that it's supposed to, how and when it's supposed to happen. Number 2, don't get too attached to time. Time is always moving and changing. Life is always in flux, but it can be hard to see that when we cling to the past or the way things used to be. We have a challenging time accepting universal timing. Try to let go of what once was and embrace what could be, because that's where divine timing lives. And being present and understanding that you can only do what you're capable of at that particular moment, at that particular time in your life. And you have to understand that whatever you don't have at the time, God will make up for it and give you the resources that you need, as long as you let it be known and you're vocal to the universe and God that you need assistance. So we can't get too attached to time, because like the article says, it's always in flux. You never know what can happen. Anything could change right here, right now. So it's important that you stay present and do what you can at that particular time in your life, and allow time in the universe to take path. Number 3 says, examine discomfort. On the way to manifesting your dreams, the universe might expose uncomfortable areas of your life, usually because this is a time when we need to look deep within ourselves and grow. Don't hide from any discomfort life brings your way, because that is a perfect time to develop. Resisting things such as painful or uncomfortable areas of your life only hinders our acceptance of the universe's timing. I'm going to read that part again. Resisting things such as painful or uncomfortable areas of your life only hinders our acceptance of the universe's timing. When possible, negative emotions or situations arise, don't run away, but sift through them carefully. You might be surprised at what happens. And this goes hand in hand with not sweeping shit under the rug when an emotion comes up or when discomfort comes up. Try to look for the lesson and try to decipher through those emotions that you feel. Like, why am I feeling impatient? Why am I uncomfortable? Why is this triggering? So that you can allow things to just let things flow and just breathe and just understand that at the end of the day, God got you. And just have faith in that and rest in that. Number 4 says, try not to plan. If you are someone that plans every moment of your day, this is going to be a harsh rule to accept. While you might be able to design things to a certain degree, the right timing for everything happens when the universe wants. No matter what, be open to the idea that your plans could change and it might be for the better. This is something that I try to pride myself on. Like, okay, I can plan out things here and there, but in the end, it won't be up to me. So I have to put my plans out in the universe, write them down, manifest them, work towards them. But I have to prepare myself that if things kind of take a turn, that I'm prepared and I have the strength and the willpower to get through. Because a lot of times we get comfortable in making plans and looking for a certain outcome. And when things don't pan out how we expect, we're freaking out because our mind was set for that to pan out how we felt like it should. And when it doesn't, we're fucked. So a lot of times, that's why I say that you can plan all you want to, but in the end, God's plan over our lives will prevail. Number 5 says, don't attach yourself to an outcome. And this is very, very important. This is another hard concept to enact, but one that can help you move forward towards a better understanding and appreciation for divine timing. When you are in the middle of any situation, try not to attach yourself to an outcome, whatever it may be. It can be hard to not attach to an outcome, especially when it comes to dealing with dating, relationships, or love. But remember, everything happens on the universe's watch. Where you end up isn't always up to you. Trusting that the universe has your back will make it much easier. And I really found that article to be resourceful because it taught me some things too in terms of divine timing, because we love to be hands-on, right? And we love to just try to make sure that we're always putting our best foot forward. And sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. We, get too excited too fast, or, we get attached to an outcome. We get attached to time. We get uncomfortable when things feel a little unfamiliar and try to plan things out strategically. And it's just no fun in that. Like, I'm learning, if not anything else, I've learned so much this year, but I'm also learning to just have fun with it and just be present and try not to put so much stress on a particular outcome or have certain high expectations for certain situations, and to just be present and have fun with it. And when things come up and it makes me uncomfortable, to try to sit with those emotions, to try to figure out why I'm being triggered, to really look for the lesson, because I'm really just here to learn. I'm really God's muse. And so this is not an overnight process. You really have to force yourself to adopt these beliefs and divine timing and trusting that the universe has your back and that God has your back, and to just do what you can with what you have at that particular moment, and trust that whatever you lack, God will make up for it. There is no loss in a lesson. There's only lessons in losses. And that's what I'm learning. So trust divine timing, do what you can with what you have, and understand that what's for you is for you and nobody can take that from you. And you are on the right path. You're right on time. You're not behind. And just take your time and have fun with this shit and just try your best to be present. And that is the episode. I really, really, really loved this episode and recording it and reading on it and writing up the treatment. I was teaching myself some things, especially with the article. So be sure to refer to the article if you are interested in looking further into divine timing. Be sure to check out the website for the podcast, and the playlist for the podcast. Follow the Instagram page, subscribe, share with your family and friends, and be sure to enjoy the remainder of your Sunday. And I will talk to you for the next episode of Keeping It G with G, the podcast.